It really hits you sometimes, doesn't it? Just how much YouTube has shifted.
Oh, totally.
Feels like, I don't know, yesterday it was all shaky cat videos, and
Oh,
now
now it's huge.
it's this massive, entertainment force. Seriously, taking on TV, movies, even more people listen to stuff like this.
Yeah, podcasts too. It's dominant.
The pace is just, it's nonstop. If you're making content or even just watching, you really have to stay on top of it.
Absolutely. It's gone from that sort of digital Wild West to something much more sophisticated.
Right.
And yeah, that means more competition, definitely. But it also means, I think if you get it right, the potential reach is just unprecedented.
And that's the core of it, isn't it? What does
Yeah.
it actually take now, today, to connect with people on YouTube? We're going to look into some fresh thinking on this
Yeah.
from someone who's, been deep in the trenches for ages, a creator himself since, 2006?
Yeah, way back.
And now he's basically this view maximizer working with huge creators, massive brands, Red Bull, the Philadelphia Eagles.
Some serious heavy hitters.
Seriously. We're talking strategies that have apparently pulled in billions of views. It's kind of staggering when you think about it.
What's really valuable, I think, is that he's seen the whole thing unfold from the early days.
Exactly.
And working with both creators and these big companies, that gives him such a grounded view of what actually works now and maybe where it's all heading.
Totally. And one of the first things he really hammers home is this fundamental way we need to think about YouTube now. It's not just a video platform.
No, not anymore.
It's a click and watch platform. That phrase, it seems simple, but it changes everything, doesn't it?
It really does. Because, at its heart, YouTube runs on the viewer making an active choice. It's not like some feeds where stuff just flows past you.
Right.
Here, that click, that's the first big hurdle. And he kind of breaks this down into three main rules or principles.
Okay, let's get into those. Rule number 1, if they don't click, they don't watch.
Pretty straightforward.
Yeah, direct. Sounds obvious, but wow, it puts all the weight on those titles and thumbnails, doesn't it? Making them absolutely compelling.
Completely. You could have the best video in the world, but if that initial click doesn't happen.
Poof. Might as well not exist.
And think about where people actually find videos. It's mostly browse suggested feeds, not often directly on your channel page, especially for new viewers.
Good point.
So yeah, your title, your thumbnail, that's your first impression. Your only chance sometimes in that massive stream of stuff.
Okay, so rule 2 kicks in after the click. Respect their time.
Crucial.
Once they've committed, you've got to deliver. Give them value, keep them hooked. He talks about sparking new questions inside the video to keep people watching.
Yeah, exactly. It's not just about answering the initial promise of the title. You need to keep giving them reasons to stay invested.
Yeah.
Make them feel their time is actually well spent.
Keep that momentum going.
Which leads right into the third rule, which he frames more like a question. Do you want more stuff like this?
The ecosystem idea.
Right. Every video should somehow make the viewer want to see the next thing you do.
Yeah.
It's about building that relationship, that desire for more.
Creating that reason to come back, to subscribe, to become part of your audience. Okay, so back to thumbnails for a sec. He said something interesting. Familiar but unexpected.
Yeah, I like that.
That feels like a tricky balance. What's the idea there?
Well, you want to tap into something the viewer already knows or cares about, that's the familiar, but then you need something visual that makes it pop. A twist, a surprise in that feed.
Something novel.
Exactly. Somebody that makes them go, huh, what's this? Even if the topic itself isn't brand new to them.
Like that astrophotography example he used. Milky Way, familiar to space fans.
Right.
But showing it shot at different times, all in one image, that's the unexpected hook. Drives the click. Or the Johnny Harris income comparison thumbnail.
Oh yeah, that visual progression instantly tells a story.
So compelling. And the impact these details have, it's kind of crazy. That UI hacks video story, a 40x jump in daily views.
40 times.
Yeah, just from a small thumbnail tweak. It just shows how much that click and watch thing really runs the show.
It really, really does. Every pixel counts, apparently.
So this leads to another concept he mentions, CCN Fit. Content that works for core, casual, and new audiences all at once.
The trifecta.
That sounds hard.
Yeah.
Like really hard. How do you even approach that?
It's definitely the gold standard, but yeah, it's a juggling act. Your diehard fans might love the deep cuts, but that could alienate newcomers.
And the broad stuff might bore the core audience.
Exactly. Finding that sweet spot, that overlap.
Yeah.
That's the key to growing without losing your base.
So where do the ideas come from? For stuff that hits that wide appeal, He had some practical tips, like looking outside your own niche.
Yeah, that was a great one. Checking out what's working in totally different areas, cooking, gaming, finance, whatever, and seeing if you can adapt those formats.
Borrowing the structure, the approach.
Right. Be a bit of a magician, he said. Show familiar tricks or formats to a new audience in your own context.
I like that. He also mentioned specific frameworks, like
Oh,
versus...
yeah.
Yeah,
Classic. The Red Bull drone versus the F1 car. Instant hook.
totally. Or superlatives, fastest, biggest, weirdest, always grabs attention.
And the three-step comparison thing. Like $1 V's $10 versus $100.
Yes, that immediately makes you curious. You want to see the difference.
And the core idea behind all of these, he stressed, is creating that curiosity gap with your title.
Right. Tease them. Give just enough to make them need the answer.
Exactly. Make them feel they're missing out if they don't click.
And it's not just about waiting for brilliance to strike, is it? He suggested actually forcing yourself to write tons of titles, like 30 for one video.
Yeah, sounds like a grind, but it makes sense.
It forces you past the obvious ones.
Right, you explore different angles, different emotional hooks. It's training, really. Learning what language resonates.
Okay, so with YouTube getting so crowded, he also talked about competitive advantage, how it's not really enough anymore to just be like funny and interesting.
That's becoming table stakes, almost.
What does he mean by a real advantage then?
Something unique that you bring. Something hard for others to just copy. Maybe it's special access you have, or deep expertise, or a truly original perspective or experience.
Something defensible.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. Something that helps you stand out beyond just personality. Because personalities can be mimicked to some extent.
Right. And speaking of copying, when visual styles or formats get popular in a niche, they tend to get copied, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's inevitable.
So his advice was subtle branding, like consistent colors or fonts, not massive logos everywhere.
Yeah, keep your visual identity recognizable, but don't make it distracting. Let the content shine, but have those little cues that say, this is one of ours.
That makes sense. Now, he brought up this idea, the artist versus the distributor creator. That one made me stop and think.
Yeah, it's a useful distinction, I think.
Explain that a bit more.
Well, the artist is maybe more driven by their own internal creative vision. This is what I want to make.
Got it.
The distributor is more focused on understanding the audience. What do they want to watch? And then delivering that. He suggests most big YouTube successes lean more towards that distributor mindset.
Understanding the market, essentially.
Yeah, understanding viewer behavior, trends, what resonates on the platform itself. Doesn't mean you sacrifice creativity entirely, but...
But you're strategic about it. It's a balance.
Exactly. You need the spark, but you also need to know who you're talking to and what works for them on YouTube.
Okay, so let's talk about keeping people watching longer. Bingeable content. How does that work?
That's where his 80% rule comes in. It's a guideline, obviously. But the idea is aim for most of your content, maybe 80% of it, to appeal strongly to about 80% of your regular audience.
Your bread and butter. The stuff they expect and love.
Right. That's your engine. It keeps the core viewers happy and coming back consistently.
But then you have the other 20%. That's for stretching.
Trying new things.
Exactly. That's your room to experiment, to push boundaries, try different formats, topics, see what else might connect. But you need realistic expectations for that 20%. Right. It might not hit like the main stuff.
Sure. He advises setting predictions, actually. Like, rate your experimental video idea on a 1-10 scale beforehand based on how you think it'll do.
Ah, okay.
That way, if it doesn't blow up like your established hits, you're not totally discouraged. You see it as part of the learning process.
That's smart. Manage your own expectations. And it's not just about analytics either. He mentioned anecdotal brand feedback.
Yeah, like the comments, the conversations, people mentioning your video elsewhere, the general buzz.
That's qualitative stuff.
Right. Sometimes a video's impact isn't just in the view count. It sparks discussion, builds community, shapes how people see your channel or brand. That stuff matters too.
Definitely. Okay, shifting gears a bit. Brands on YouTube. This was interesting. It's clearly way past being just a dumping ground for TV ads.
Oh, miles past that. Smart brands are basically becoming media companies now.
Like Red Bull. They don't just sponsor stuff. Their channel is the stuff.
Exactly. They're creating original, engaging content series that fit their brand identity. It's a whole different game.
And their goals are different from individual creators too, aren't they?
Often, yeah. A creator might be laser-focused on subscriber growth. A brand might care more about reaching a specific demographic, or brand safety, or even things like recruitment.
Right. It's tied to broader business objectives, not just YouTube metrics.
For sure. They want the right views, not just any views.
He seemed pretty critical of brands that still treat YouTube like Vimeo or something, just uploading corporate videos. He mentioned Target.
Yeah, using it as just a hosting site, basically. No real strategy for how people find or engage with the content on YouTube itself. It's such a missed opportunity for so many.
Huge. Because brands have resources, stories. Imagine Target doing a supermarket sweep style show.
Totally. Or car brands diving deep into enthusiast culture, airlines making cool travel shows.
The potential is massive if they just thought more like creators, less like traditional advertisers.
And authenticity is key there, especially in collaborations. Overly slick corporate stuff, it just doesn't land well on YouTube usually.
People see right through it.
You got it. He pointed to repeatable formats, like those Condé Nast ones, 10 things I can't live without, 73 questions.
Ah, yeah, those are great examples.
They're engaging, repeatable, provide clear value, and they work well for integrating brands or personalities naturally.
And for creators wanting to work with brands, he said brands need a clear ask, right? Not just pitch us something.
Yeah, it helps everyone if the brand knows what they're trying to achieve. Makes it way easier for the creator to come up with something genuinely useful and creative.
Makes sense. Okay, let's zoom in on the very beginning of a video, those first few seconds. He really stressed the first 30 seconds.
Hugely important, disproportionately so.
Why is it so critical?
It just sets the tone. It's where you fulfill the promise of the click. If you don't grab them immediately and show them they're in the right place, PFT, they're gone. So many other options.
He mentioned something from Mr. Beast, too, about how a strong start makes the whole video feel better.
Yeah, like if the first 30 seconds are tight and deliver, it creates this positive momentum. But if it's confusing or slow, it casts a shadow over everything that follows, even if it gets better later.
Tough crowd.
Very. So his formula was something like, deliver the promise instantly, give necessary context but not too much, and then tease something intriguing coming up.
Keep them leaning in.
Exactly. We often think of it as confirm the click visually right away, establish context within maybe 7 seconds, and introduce a new hook or question by 30 seconds. Always giving a reason to keep watching.
Capture and hold. Got it. Okay, what about short form versus long form? Shorts are everywhere now.
Yeah, YouTube is definitely playing in that space. He acknowledged it, though his main focus seems to be long form.
Right.
Shorts can be great for discovery, quick hits, but he did mention the risk of kind of view inflation. And it can be harder to tie short views directly to, say, brand impact or deeper engagement.
Different tools for different jobs, maybe?
Pretty much. Long form allows for that deeper connection, storytelling. Shorts are more about grabbing attention quickly. Depends on your goals.
And finally, celebrities on YouTube. That's a whole other world.
Yeah, fascinating challenges there. Trying to be relatable, human, but also maintaining that sort of premium celebrity brand.
He mentioned Jeremy Lin versus Michael Jordan as different vibes.
Right. And for celebrities, authenticity seems even more crucial. People want a glimpse behind the curtain, but maybe not just a generic day in the life.
Needs a concept.
Yeah, like focusing on a specific passion or unique access they have. He mentioned Timothy Chalamet actually started on YouTube way back.
Oh, really? Didn't know that.
Yeah. And the idea that maybe movie stars between projects could do something really cool and authentic, sharing interests.
Yeah.
But it needs a hook.
And consistency, right, even for them. He stressed that 52-week thinking.
Absolutely. YouTube rewards consistency, whoever you are. You can't just dip in and out sporadically and expect to build a real audience.
So, bottom line, whether you're a creator, a brand, a celebrity, the YouTube game now requires real strategy.
It's dynamic, it's competitive. You have to understand the platform, understand your audience, and know what makes you stand out.
So, maybe something for you listening to think about. As you watch or create stuff, which of these ideas could you use right now?
Yeah.
What unexpected format, what different angle, what collaboration might unlock something new for you? It's constantly changing out there.
Always something new to learn, always something shifting. That's YouTube.
See you soon.